Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 109. Tonight, your regular co hosts, Paul, Connor, and myself, Joe, are going to be talking trolls. So get your britches ready for this amazing epic adventure that Netflix has provided us with. But first, we need to talk about what Kaiju have been up to. Since Connor has joined us relatively recently and he got some awesome new stuff, we're going to pick on him first. Connor, what do you got to tell us about?
Well, Joe, unfortunately, I haven't been up to much stuff Kaiju related, but you know how on this podcast I love myself a cup of tea, right? So I decided to get a new mug. So this is a I'm not going to say officially licensed because it's probably not. This is a mug with the Aurora Godzilla model kit on it, and if you read the label there, it says it glows in the dark. It does not. This is false advertising. It's just a mug.
Did the model glow in the dark?
The
The
models
model,
did glow in the dark.
Right,
And the
okay.
funny
yeah.
thing is like
In
bits of
fact,
the model glue in dark.
there he is.
Hey, God, the model looks much better than the picture on the mug.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just
Well,
say
to be fair, Connor does this semi-professionally, so it
Yeah.
better look better.
Well, the thing is, as well, the model kit actually came with two different heads. So you had the regular head and the glow in the dark head. So unfortunately, I didn't use the glow in the dark head, but I probably should have because then I could probably do some wacky effects with it. But anyways, so I got this mug. Fair enough. And as you know, last episode we covered Godzilla Day, and there was a few announcements during Godzilla Day, right? So I went ahead and I spent a bit of money. I got the Gigan Rex Godzilla here, as you can see, in all his five-finger glory.
So how big's that? Is that like a Monster Arts outside? I'm trying to
I would say
bit bigger.
he's about 6 inches tall, so he's just basically basic Bandai size, I guess. In fact, I've actually got the Monster Arts Bandai Mecha Godzilla here for size comparison. You can see roughly the same size, I'd say. But yeah, so unfortunately, I didn't spend any more money on the Godzilla, so that's a lie. Here we go. So I also got the Gigan Rex as well, in all his uncooked chicken glory, as you can tell. Again, it's a really nice sculpt. I wouldn't be surprised if they use 3D printing for these figures, because they almost look exactly like the figures, despite a few almost look like the models, despite a few edits to it, because that's just the nature of toy manufacturing. And I also received, I don't have it with me, but I also received the Kong 76 4K as well that came out recently. And oh God, I wish I had it with me because when they announced that Steelbook, because I got the Steelbook, right? There was a little Easter egg on the back of the box, right? Just a little Easter egg that most Kaiju fans would get a kick out of if they saw it. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll just say, just look it up and say, oh, they can only get sued. But anyways, moving on as well. So, Paul, what have Kaiju been up to?
I wish I could say that I've been up to something really exciting, but I haven't.
No.
No, I've been trying to. I was trying to think before we recorded because I need to think of something, and I don't think I've actually done anything Kaiju related apart from watch Troll since we last recorded. But you mentioned earlier, Connor, that we do have a few passings recently, so I'll do the depressing part of the show.
Yeah.
Where we should acknowledge that it was Kazuki Omori, I think I'm saying that right, wasn't I? Who was the director of Godzilla vs. Biollante and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so we lost him mid-February, mid-November, wasn't it? He was at the age of 70.
I think roughly around that age, yeah, 70, 60, I'd imagine. But yeah.
And then also Jason David Frank, aka the Green/White Ranger.
Yeah.
He did a variety of colors, actually, to be fair.
What else? Was he some others?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, was he really? I only remember him from like
he was
the
black,
OG.
he was red.
What, really? He's just all of them.
He's the
Yeah, yeah,
Rainbow
yeah.
Ranger. He
He's
was every color.
because was he in like every series, even if just a cameo? He's
I
like the
think he was in the majority of them, to be fair.
like how
I
Burt
mean,
Gummer, is the Tremors man. It was like Jason David Frank was the
yeah,
Power Rangers.
Jason David Frank in many ways was the heart and soul of a lot of Power Rangers fans, or at least the identity of Power Rangers for a lot of fans. He was there, since Mighty Morphin, and he just came all the way up through. And he was even in a couple of fan productions like Bat in the Sun, Legend of the White Dragon, which they had in production at the time of his death. Um, he was in that too. They just released some trailers for it actually on Instagram, which looked amazing.
Mhm.
But it's a big loss because he was really lovely to his fans,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. He
he
was.
was always giving them shout outs and like interacting. And despite being like really imposing dude, he was just a really sweet person. So it's really a loss for the community, I'd say. And for
Yep.
as someone who grew up like really like loving the Green Ranger, I gotta say I felt that one pretty acutely. Like he was a
Yeah,
childhood hero, and to see him pass away.
it was a shock because when I think Power Rangers, I think Dragon Zord, I think Tommy. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a part of my childhood. Just
Mhm.
Yeah, even my little girl, like she doesn't know Mighty Morphin Power Rangers that much, but like you do your best to indoctrinate your kids into the things you like.
yeah,
I had her watch a few Power Rangers episodes, and then when like I was telling my partner the other day, like, oh no,
Mhm.
Green Ranger died, Tommy's gone, like my little girl
Yeah.
piped up and says, no.
It just goes to show that nothing lasts forever, unfortunately, and that's just fact of life, you know. But the thing with Jason David Frank and Kazuki Amori is that until they're gone, basically, they'll be forever part of the kaiju community, pretty much,
yeah.
because of their contributions. Yeah.
That's it. Godzilla vs. Violante and Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah are two of my favorite Godzilla
Mhm.
films. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. And I think in King Ghidorah's case, that film was probably a gateway to all the other Godzilla films for a lot of fans as well. At least if you grew up in the early 2000s, I guess, with those DVDs. But yeah, it's a shame, I guess. um. Anyways, I think.
anyway. So yeah, that's yeah. I haven't been up to anything, but I'll pass on the bad news. Joe, what have Kaiju been up to?
It took him a while, but Joe spent some money again.
Hey,
I've been waiting
an X Plus
patiently.
Dragon.
No, dang it. So I've been patiently waiting for a Star-Ace Harryhausen Dragon, which just never seems to get
I think they've
released.
cancelled
Like,
it.
well, I just found out, like, what were we getting? No, they have the Wonders of the Ancient World Smilodon, and I was about to go, you are not seriously doing the Harryhausen Smilodon, the saber-toothed cat, before the dragon. Are we really doing this? But no, it was a different line that they had. But I am perpetually perturbed now that I haven't gotten the dragon yet. However, um, it's been a long time coming, but they are finally arriving a few days after we record this because I've got the tracking. But I have a uh, Kraken coming my way.
Ooh,
I
Ooh.
Yeah, I
I didn't
did
think you were
not
getting that
go.
one.
But I didn't go for the Rick extra version. I didn't need an Andromeda chained to a rock for the extra quid. I'm just quite happy with the Kraken, who's the real star of that show. My daughter has enough Barbies and princess figures that I can
You make your
mock
own.
up
Yeah.
my I can mock up my own. Yeah. And then I have the Talos as well. I did go
Nice.
the extra on that one, and yeah, he's got the boat in his hand, and he's got the little base that surrounds it. And the thing is when I saw that figure, like that was an instant for me. I love figures with detail that show action. There's a really good sculpt there. The details in there. The base is fantastic. And I think in terms of like a sculpt, it's a head and shoulders above the gigantic Talos, which was released, which is just standing there more or less. It's not even him on top of like the on top of the pedestal or the whatever you want to call it, the base that says Talos in the film where he's posed. So I'm glad I got that one, but it's finally coming. And then the one that, I mean, like those are two amazing figures, but the one I'm actually most excited for is the Rick Defo Real Titanosaurus. And I have been waiting for a closed tail Titanosaurus to be put on one of my shelves for so long, and I'm finally getting it. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm really excited. One of the things that is a bit of a bit of a tragedy in Joe's world is my partner and I have a new baby, and my geeky office is going to be converted into his room. But the defo reels are small enough that I can keep them, about the house and not have them in storage necessarily. So
Unfortunately,
that'll be fun.
sacrifices have to be made.
Yeah. Unfortunately, members of the family are more important than Godzilla. But like it will be fun. So I spent a bit of money, and yeah, I watched Troll, and I watched Troll with my partner Dawn. And getting into the crux of this episode, Troll was a very fun film, and it's really good that we have films like Troll because it offers a new character. I'm not necessarily going to say original because we had Troll Hunter, a while back, which did fairly similar things, but trolls are something of a novelty, and everybody's calling it a kaiju film or a giant monster movie, which, to be fair, it is. But this isn't produced by necessarily, it isn't produced for necessarily an American audience or a Japanese audience. It is its own thing. We have a European monster film again. So it's novel in that sense. It's fairly original in the fact that it is a troll film. But the big takeaway for me is that because it's on such a large platform like Netflix, it introduces a lot of people to the genre. And whilst I don't regard it as an overly original film plot-wise, I will say that even though it has a lack of originality, we need films like that every once in a while on a big platform with a new creature to draw fans into the fandom. Otherwise, it's just the same tired tropes with the same characters, and you don't gain any organic growth that way. So I'm really glad that we got Troll.
I should also mention it's currently the #1 movie at this moment in time, trending on Netflix as well. So it has actually garnered an audience by the looks of things already. So
yeah, it's doing really well. I think Wednesday Addams has taken top seat overall in Netflix. It's actually taken that away from Stranger Things, which is great because it's another creepy, kooky, mysterious, and spooky sort of series. And it has a creature in it. There's multiple creatures in it, to be fair. But yeah, like we're just seeing like a really good showing from Netflix at the moment. But Troll, I think it's fantastic because you take like a legendary creature and you treat it with the reverence that it really deserves, because trolls were actually like a big part of people's lives a long while back, and they were treated with that reverence and then seriousness. And as they fell into more hokey myth and legend, like that mystique around them went away. And this film does a lot in showing that reverence to the myth. And I think it's great in that sense. You guys both watched Troll. What were your takeaways before we delve into the plot?
I would say I really enjoyed Troll. And I'll tell you something else, right? So this is the last episode of Christmas, pretty much, and this is one of the few times that now I think everyone who's ever liked kaiju movies knows that most of the time families do not want to watch kaiju films. Right? End of. Because
Are you going to subject your family to Troll? Is that where this is going?
No, they wanted to watch it. So
oh, people actually asked you, yeah, we want to watch this film with you. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So and I think because of that, I really do appreciate that it's essentially because it was released in December, it's the true meaning of Christmas. It's you can watch it with your family and all that. But other than that, yeah. No, I enjoyed it very much. I think it is a bit derivative in some parts, and there's a lot of obvious parts where it is derivative. But for what it is, it's a very enjoyable monster film, and what how it plays around with the troll myth as well. Like we had the film Troll Hunter a few years back, which also delved into the myth a bit, like stuff about the Christian blood and like trolls being killed by like UV lights and all that. But I like the I like the aspect that the troll isn't an evil creature, right? And I do appreciate when it's just like um the troll isn't evil, it's the humans that are evil, pretty much, that sort of angle, I guess.
I mean,
And
he's destroying people. He's destroying people. I shouldn't necessarily say he, but it's destroying people's homes and eating people. I mean, like, I would argue that people and trolls are fairly mutually exclusive there, Connor.
well, it's like he didn't kill the dog at the start, right? He could have
That's a
easily
dog.
yeah, it doesn't matter, he didn't kill the dog. you know
Well,
um
you can't have a successful movie and kill the dog.
you know
Alien
um
3, prime example.
he saved the little girl from being crushed,
Yeah, he
in
did.
the theme park.
He's
um
practically Gamera.
yeah,
Friend to all children.
yeah, exactly. You can clearly see that when people actually try to talk to it gently, it calms down. It's like, oh, look,
Maybe it's just confused and it's
he's
like,
all
why is my
right.
food talking to me?
Well, such a negative attitude, I'm telling you, Joe. But
It eats people.
listen, it's just like it's not evil. It's not evil. It's like how animals aren't evil. It's like you
Animals aren't evil, but that thing specifically singled one guy out and ate him
he is a soldier,
because
keep in mind as well. So
Yeah, he
you're
was
not
attacking
gonna.
him in fairness.
Okay. In fairness, no, he was he?
He was a soldier.
know.
He
there
must
was
have
a
been
soldier
shooting
that
at him.
got, yeah, he was, the soldiers were attacking him. So
Yeah,
Okay, but the
that's
second bit.
self-defense.
Okay, we'll move on to you, Paul, and your thoughts on the film, and then we will argue. Okay, how
I
about
quite like this
that?
argument, but yeah, I thought Troll was fine.
It was an
Nothing,
enjoyable watch. It was
but yeah,
just an enjoyable
there's
watch.
nothing wrong with it. The music, the acting, it's all fine, but nothing really stood out as a moment. I thought, oh wow, that was fantastic. There's yeah,
It's a
it's yeah.
well executed movie.
Well, but I think the problem is I didn't really care about the troll. I didn't really care about the people. So anyone could have died, and it wouldn't have bothered me. And if I'm not like, engaged, then it's just like, yeah, it's a film. It passed the time, but I couldn't recommend that. I couldn't
really,
recommend Troll, really.
oh, oh dear.
It was distinctly mediocre for me. The prime thing is, oh great, it's something new to watch. It's on Netflix, so I'm sure lots of people watch it, and it is. Oh, it's a bit of a giant monster, but yeah, just
Again,
I don't care about trolls either. To me, they're not high up on my monster list.
It goes back to what I say. Like, for fans of the genre, like real fans, like, you will enjoy it when you watch it. It's not a bad movie.
That's it. No, not bad.
But you'll come away from it thinking,
Like, huh.
I have seen most of this before, but I am grateful for it because, again, it's on a large platform and it is bringing new fans to the genre.
That's the best thing about it, isn't it? That this could be a gateway to many more things for
Exactly.
for people. So that's the
films,
highest praise.
the more films that Netflix puts out like
it's
this,
it's a fun
make.
movie at the end of the day. It's a fun movie. Don't expect anything special. Just Netflix and chill.
See, we're peer pressuring you now. See, before this episode, Connor was raving about Troll. Like, I don't know.
It was a heated debate, wasn't it?
That day, because you were just texting away about Troll. Yeah.
It was mostly the debate about is the troll evil?
Is the troll evil? Yeah.
Yeah, which we're talking about now. The troll is evil.
It's not evil.
Okay. So
Look at his
Riddle me
eyes.
this.
Those
Riddle
are
me this. This
those are sad
benevolent.
eyes in the film. He's not
Okay,
evil. He's just sad.
I mean, he's sad by the
So
end of the
this-
film. Yeah.
So this benevolent, sad-eyed troll who only eats one person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that
and
evil.
he's forced to eat the guy.
He's
I'll
not
give you
forced
that,
to
okay?
eat.
Who
Yeah,
is a soldier who's been shooting at him?
Let me go. I'm just giving Connor a moment, like,
Go on.
but
What?
do you not think that he might have done a smidgen of evil deeds once he figured out what had happened to the rest of his family? Because he was not impressed with this. Okay, spoiler, with the skull that they were dragging around in the car in order to distract him.
Yeah. I mean,
I
why
think
would
Figure
you
when
be
he found
impressed?
his entire family's skeletons, he
Yeah.
hmm.
Oh, all my family are dead. Yeah, I think he's got every right
Oh,
to be angry.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think he should be honky dory. I was like, oh, look, my family's dead. I'm just.
I know,
trying
but
to
they were
just,
eating people,
calm
like
down.
something needed to be done.
Well,
Mountain trolls eat people.
it goes into
Yeah,
how
but I mean,
basically
they need to eat to survive.
bear in mind
Yes,
as well,
but-
it's humans that came up with the myth about trolls in the first place. It's human propaganda, Joe.
But he did eat people.
He did eat people, yeah. And why not?
I mean, like, I mean,
But what did the humans do?
I mean, I eat cows.
and you're probably evil to a cow.
So I'm evil to cows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to argue the troll isn't evil, like, it's a moot point.
But am I evil for
he smashed
for not
an
being
old
a
couple's
vegetarian?
house. They were doing nothing wrong.
He accidentally stepped on it.
He didn't
He scared a
purposely
dog.
destroy.
Evil. He scared a dog. Totally.
But
Evil.
the dog survived. The old people survived.
He was gonna smash the chopper that they were riding in too. Like, he was grabbing for them. Did you see that?
They were
Like when he was hidden away, when he was pretending to be a hill. Oh yeah. Lied in wait.
He was
set a
trying to
trap.
sleep.
If you got woken up by
Was he now? I
the
felt like
sound
he
of a
was sleeping for
chopper,
a
you'd
good
be
long
annoyed
time.
as well.
All right. So before we start arguing any more about this, I feel like we need to tackle the plot. So, as was stated before, this film does not have a terribly complex plot. So tropes that it borrows from: the young paleontologist, because it's always a paleontologist that gets roped in to explain the monster or to find the monster.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That paleontologist has an odd relationship, albeit with their parent, a significant other that is estranged, and that person is roped in to help, combat the monster threat. We have, pardon me, we have a central character, or like B-list character, dying partway through the film that shows us loss and no one is safe. We have a monster making a linear threat to a populated area. We have the government plan, which does not succeed. Then we have the ragtag group of paper pushers that come together to try a Hail Mary that works in the end, but not before we see the human side of the monster shortly before it perishes in a heartfelt death scene. Cut to credits,
That would make
which are interrupted by the advent of a new monster, which everybody missed.
I don't know about you. That would make a fairly satisfying movie, if you ask me. Let's do it
I know,
50
but
times.
So things that I noticed while watching this film. So first of all, vertebrate paleontology is a very hard thing to get into. So you don't have many like recognized vertebrate paleontologists that go hunting for dinosaurs. That everybody wants that job. Like, they are the talking heads in all the documentaries. Don't get me wrong, but there aren't many of them. That's why you always see the same people talking. So the fact that we had a vertebrate paleontologist in, I assume this was Norway, digging up a large theropod dinosaur, which, spoilers, folks, it had no business being there. That was not the right strata to find that. That was not the type. It was in mud, not even in rock. So what on earth did this thing fossilize in? When did it fossilize? So I kind of, because of
it could be
previous knowledge,
it
I
could
kind
be
of took
raining.
offense to the film.
It could be raining, and the mud might have slid over the top of the dinosaur.
Basically, this, in order for it to be there in that mud, this would have had to been like a Jurassic World Dominion in universe film,
No,
which would be very
Oh, maybe
funny
it is,
because
yeah.
watching the troll face off with Rexy is probably in the sequel. That'd be amazing.
yeah,
But
I can see it
Rexy
now.
would win because Rexy can't die. It's like an unwritten rule.
Why did they
Anyways,
bring her into it? A paleontologist? Why would they?
okay. So we brought the paleontologist into it because
Okay, yeah, thought so.
there was a geological incident. People were mining slash tunneling through this mountain in order to, like decrease transit time to whatever populated area or whatnot. During the tunneling, the boring device wakes up a titular creature.
A bit like Rain of Fire, isn't it?
It is quite like Rain of Fire, only they're going horizontal
Yeah,
rather than
run down.
vertically down. Yeah. So, anyways, the troll erupts from the mountain, and like basically you have like this room of educated experts that the government pulls together, and they show the footage from the incident, which was captured in someone's smartphone. And all of the other experts miss the giant troll walking out of the mountain.
But we can all see it.
So, that we can all see and hear, might I add.
Yeah.
But the paleontologist catches it. Now, one of the things that's refreshing about this is that we have a female protagonist, which is really cool. She's an educated female protagonist. She is a paleontologist. She comes up with good ideas. She is open to she's open to believing like some of the myths and legends because she's seeing it supported by factual evidence, which is what every good scientist should and would do. But the thing of the matter is just that like there's too many tropes. There's too many tropes. Basically, what this movie is about is a troll walking in a straight line and people getting in the way.
Well, that's
now the troll.
Film.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's much like a Godzilla film. Only Godzilla's radioactive. He is quite a bit more dangerous and angry, to be fair, and he can walk in the daylight. So this troll like is literally just walking in a straight line. He stops to take a nap, at which point he looks like a hill. They land next to him because his footprints have stopped, and then they're like, "Oh gosh, where did the troll go?" And then he wakes up. Of course, he wakes up, and then he just kind of like lunges at the helicopter, does like the Kong Skull Island clenching of the fists.
Well, they don't know that he's the mountain. As far as they're concerned,
Well, no,
trolls aren't real.
Yeah. No one believes in trolls.
Yeah, well,
apart from the paleontologist, of course.
Apparently, you see, this is where like suspension of disbelief is very important in a film like this. So our lead protagonist's father, the paleontologist that we've just been talking about, her father is actually a troll expert.
Would you believe? God,
how lucky are all those government officials? They got a twofer. They got the paleontologist and they got the troll expert. So anyways, we can't just let a giant troll walk towards a populated, area. So what are we going to do? That's right, folks. We're going to try and blow it up. So they try and blow it up. So it's actually quite hard to apparently light stone on fire, which is kind of where they don't succeed. So trolls are made of like stone and they have ice for bones. I don't know if that's necessarily true, strictly speaking, but in the film it's referenced.
That's something that I've never get in films like this. It's just like, we've just discovered a new creature.
Kill
What's
it.
the first thing when they kill it? Kill it.
Well, it is. To be fair, as you say, it's walking towards a populated area. It is a threat.
Well, is it?
It is a threat. And you know what else? You want to know what else, Connor?
What's that?
Say it with me now. It eats people.
Well, only when it's annoyed.
It ate one person.
Well, okay, it ate one person.
One person
camera,
who shot at him, and that's it. Yeah.
No. It wasn't even because he was shooting at him. It's because
it's because he was a Christian. Yeah.
So we have a
Apparently.
bigot troll on the loose. That's what it's about here, folks. It's a bigot. Anyway, so it eats a guy. And then we have our, like B-list character death. So the dad, the troll expert, tries to reason with the troll. And to be fair, it looks down like rather, like dully, and just like, it looks at him. And then, someone starts shooting it, from its side. And then, of course, like he takes a step to face it and accidentally kind of like kicks the guy. So,
Exactly. The troll's not evil. He accidentally killed the guy. He
yeah, I
didn't
mean, like
deliberately hit him with his
he
tail.
didn't punt him, but like if you took your foot and knocked over a Lego character, it would be pretty similar. But yeah, you don't really survive that, being accidentally kicked by, like what is it, 100-meter stone giant. So he dies, but he dies after he has one last heartfelt conversation with his daughter. Um, Oh, I should mention that they have a military friend, an escort that they've developed, a working relationship with. He's a staple all throughout the film, and he comes in pretty clutch at the end. So, as we discover, the troll is walking towards a populated, center, and through various bits of detective work, they find out that the current palace of the sitting government, the sovereign, is built on top of his old home, which isn't good because he just wants
No,
to go home, right? He doesn't necessarily, I
No.
mean, like, go home and eat people. But add a kicker here. He's not going to be best pleased when he goes because, first of all, someone built a house on top of his house. And secondly, they killed all of his family and left their bones there. And not only did they leave their bones there, they like installed floodlights so they could look at their corpses whenever they wanted. So, particularly brutal government here. So, anyways, he's walking along. They figure all of this out. Like, this isn't going to be good. We have to do something. So, again, military strikes aren't really working. They decide to like bomb the city or wherever he's going. Now, there's potential for, like lots of property damage, collateral. So, we don't want this. So, again, this is where the ragtag group of folks come into play. So we have like a hacker lady who's working inside the office. We have the PM's main assistant. He helps out. We have the paleontologist, and then the clutch military trope hero. So I feel like the entire thing would have fallen apart if it weren't for this one guy, because
oh yeah,
somehow
Oh,
he
really?
manages to get every single sunbed in Norway into one location within like 45 minutes, whilst paleontologists and the PM's assistant are driving around with this poor infant troll's skull around town, like taunting this poor, like at this point, like shocked, angry, confused troll. Like, why you got my baby's head? So like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
chasing after them. It's very Godzilla 98. And they lead him up to a hill where they've got all these sunbeds in a circle around him. They start setting them off. It's fairly troll hunter, to be fair. And the paleontologist says, wait, even though I was totally for killing this troll 10 minutes ago, I
yeah.
think we should stop.
Told you the
Of
humans are the
course,
bad
it's
guys.
completely arbitrary because despite the fact that she's wearing a watch and fighting a creature that she was bent on killing that dies in the sun, she's forgotten that it's almost dawn. So, like, I don't know, a minute after she decides to turn off all the lights, it gets roasted in the sun anyway. And then they make clever jokes about what to call its corpse. They
Yeah,
do, don't they?
that's
Yeah,
one thing I didn't appreciate about that.
that's a bit cold. That's a bit cold. Anyways, I mean, like it was looking at it too, like as it died, it crumbled away. And it was just like, I want to eat you so bad. Anyways, so a troll dies, and then my favorite part of the film comes up. It was the Hall of the Mountain King remakes for the end credits, which was amazing. For those of you who are not familiar with the Hall of the Mountain King, look it up on YouTube. It is music. You have probably heard it before. And what it is about a brave young person who goes in to wall up the Mountain King, who is a troll. But the thing is if the Mountain King and his minions catch you, they keep you in the mountain until then you turn into a troll. So our little protagonist is quite brave as he goes into the mountain, but as he realizes he is outnumbered and outclassed, the music begins to take a turn and he starts to run away only to be caught. So it tells a story without necessarily saying any words, but it is deeply associated with trolls, and specifically mountain trolls, to which this troll is. They are the biggest, baddest ones. So that was fun. End credits, because we have to have an end credits scene. Marvel has ruined us that way. So we have an end credit scene, and basically the shaft that they were burrowing into, where the troll first appeared, we hear a roar, we hear some rock, we see some rocks move, and then the rocks erupt, presumably with another troll. So it starts all over again. So there's a lot there that's fun to watch while you're watching it. If you don't know what's going to happen, it's a load of fun. But in terms of rewatchability and a film for veterans of the genre, you've seen it all before. And you've seen a lot of it before in another troll movie, which is also probably still on Netflix in some territories. So yeah.
Well,
but
like
we get back. I digress. The troll's evil, and it eats people.
Troll is not evil. It's defending its homeland against the evil humans. They killed his people.
They were eating people.
They put them on display, Joe. They put them on display in the palace.
Yeah, and he gobbled up people. I mean,
they killed a baby.
We're kind of splitting hairs here. Like, murders on both sides, man.
It's just like I don't know. I just got a feeling that the lore of this is, the trolls were just minding their business, and then humans showed up. Nah. So I refuse to believe that the troll's evil in this movie at all.
Yeah, I don't see him as evil.
No.
Is he a force of nature?
It's 2 against 1. So.
No, he's just a troll.
Not a force. He's not a force of nature. I mean, like, we actually have I suppose made out of rock.
Yeah,
he's made
rock,
out of rock.
But...
He's literally nature, Paul. No, I'm not going to let you have that Godzilla parallel, Joe. He's not a force of nature.
He's not a force of nature, no.
But he's literally like a walking mountain. He is a walking mountain, Paul.
He's not much of a force, though, is he? Because when the sun comes out, he goes away.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
It's just like, yeah, I'm a force of nature.
I mean, I'm
going to kill you all. Oh, sorry, it's sunny.
He's like a vampire, but he's not even like a vampire anymore, because Edward Cullen, he goes out in the sun. I mean, like, he just
sparkles. Yeah.
I say he's like the typical Scotsman who just cannot stand the sun. Just
oh, it's getting a bit warm. I don't like this.
I mean, like, this is probably the only monster that's more northern than you, Connor.
On that note, shall we have a little look and see what our listeners say, because we've had a few comments, haven't we?
Yeah, you guys commented loads on this film. It's only been out for like a week.
Yeah,
it shows how hungry we are for anything monster related. So
anything troll related.
Mm-hmm.
You can totally tell that some of you grew up with Frozen. You are troll hungry.
Right. So, do you want me to read some read some comments out?
Go for it.
Go nuts.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, Daniel Moorhead loved it, even if the Prime Minister looking so much like Theresa May was very distracting, which I didn't think about.
Did not even catch that.
It's true. Absolutely.
Maybe it is Theresa May. I mean, like, do we know what
that's
she's doing?
That's what she's doing now. She's gone into monster movies. That'd be fantastic.
But who is the real monster? Oh, okay, we're not doing that.
No. You're going to upset some Tories now. Watch out.
It's great that we're now at the stage where the new crop of kaiju films are so obviously being influenced by the Monsterverse. Felt very Godzilla 2014 with the father story, and Skull Island with the helicopter scene in particular.
Thank you.
Hope it does well enough to get a sequel, but I don't know enough about the production to guess. Did Netflix finance this or just acquire the streaming rights? I think they financed it, didn't they?
They did finance it. This is one that they plastered their logo all over.
Yeah.
And it has not been shown on any other platform nor released on any hard copy physical form. So
yeah,
I'm going to say Netflix.
Okay. And on the kind of Christmassy theme, as this is, as we said, the last episode for Christmas, he's said, Dream Kaiju Xmas present would be the Heisei and Millennium Godzilla films to finally get a Blu-ray box set in the UK. I mean, that would be nice. We had the Criterion collection. It'd be nice to have the rest. I want to complete the set.
Yeah, I want another Criterion set where apparently the glue is loosening on the set and all the discs are falling into the cardboard. Well done, Criterion.
You
Anyways,
guys all make fun of the Criterion Collection, and I will say that there were some elements of the Criterion Collection which didn't hit very well.
There were
But
some odd choices, but it's so nice to have them all as a collection.
yeah, like we like
We
that was
never
such a
get
gift
it.
to us. But what about the Heisei films? I mean, like so many people love those films, and for so many people are of the age group now that they really want that.
Yeah.
But no, UK. We'll continue to ignore you. But we'll give you a troll.
We'll give you a try, yeah. Okay, let's see. Brandon Hickle Smith. Sorry, Hickley Smith.
oh boy, here
Apologies
we
there,
go.
Brandon. Here we go. When I first heard about the film, I strongly believed it was going to be either a sequel or prequel to the found footage movie Troll Hunter, especially since the creature looks strikingly like the giant troll in the 2010? In the 2010 film? 12 years ago. Thanks. Plus, it was set in Norway. However, it doesn't seem like there is any link to both films, but I'm cool with that. And yeah, I would say it's nothing to do with it either. But
Well, you see, the
that's
thing
fine.
is like this movie would have been much shorter with the other guy, but he retired. It was 12 years ago, so
Yeah.
that's why this one went on a rampage. What you gonna do?
Yeah. The new Netflix movie, which I've just managed to watch in time to share my opinion with the Kaiju Curry House podcast. P.S. You guys are
Yay.
awesome.
Thank
Thank
Sweet!
you.
You're
And
nicer than my kids.
overall, it was pretty neat. I wouldn't say it's great, but most of the scope, pacing, and characters were good. And I even thought some of the plot and humor was not bad. High praise
It's
indeed
true.
there.
It's true.
Um,
I mean,
I think he's on par with me as well. I was like, yeah, it was fine.
this will find its footing as a cult film. This will be
Yeah,
a cult
Oh,
definitely.
it's going to have lots of fans, I'm sure.
I think it's
They're a
already
big group.
turning into a cult film, considering that, like I said, #1 movie on Netflix. So,
The visual effects were something else. With the amount of detail on the wreck textures of the troll itself. I didn't really think about that. I just thought, yeah, that's a good effect, but
well,
Oh, yeah.
to be fair,
just-
it's one of those things. So you can program rough textures to look a certain way and map out a framed creature in digital and not necessarily apply too much effort because there are smart programs to do that.
yeah.
So it's amazing what you can do these days. But
It's
what I
called
think is,
bump maps and displacement maps. There you go. There's a 3D animation
Ooh.
term for you.
there you go. But what they did do very well in this film is the lighting.
Yes.
The
Indeed.
lighting and the cinematography in this film were great. And it's not often that you can call out a film for that, particularly a film like this. But the scale that was on display via the cinematography and the lighting. So call a specific instance into mind, which it's all about the lighting and cinematography, is the moment where the daughter and father are sitting looking at the mountain with the troll heads.
Yeah.
And you can see the troll heads as the clouds part, and it just casts shadows on the faces, and then it fades away again. It's all lighting.
Mhm. Oh yeah, definitely. Plus, the way that they filmed it as well, because Norway is such a cold country, associated with being
Like
quite
Scotland.
cold. Yeah, like Scotland. It's they use a lot of very grayish colors as well, which actually helps the troll blend into the because of how the troll is designed. It helps them blend into the film more naturally, I guess, if that's the way of putting it. But yeah, definitely the lighting effects as well as the cinematography are actually pretty good in this film. All things
They were
said.
great. They
Yeah.
were great. That was something that this film really nailed.
I mean, he said, to be honest, I almost couldn't draw my eyes away from it. So yeah, so Brandon was definitely impressed with the effects. Some moments I noticed that there was a few scenes appear to be inspired by other hit creature films like Jurassic Park and even Kong Skull Island, and those were probably my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess a couple of things that could have been a little improved is the editing and maybe even the screenplay. Also, the ending felt kind of rushed to me. That being said, though, I quite like the film. Despite not being on my top monster movie list, I might watch it again sometime. It's still a good creature feature for some entertainment. 3 out of 5.
I mean, like that's a really decent review. You
I
went
think
over a
that's
lot there.
yeah, I'm happy with that review.
Well,
I would
I
have
will
said
say
something-
the ending being rushed. I mean, like the sun came up. I mean, like,
As you said, the sun came up really quickly. Just like all of a sudden.
I mean, like the thing is though, the sun came up. Like it dies in the sun. I mean, like whether you wanted more or not, like that's just a fun. That's just part of the crux of it being a troll. Sun came
Yeah,
up.
but
He was in
I
open.
guess the
What
thing
you
is,
do?
it was out during the day before, wasn't it? It was just cloudy. So
Mm-hmm.
it just happened to be a bright morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For his dream kaiju present, he would love a SH Monster Arts model of Ghidorah, Heisei, or Monsterverse. Merry Xmas Kaiju Curry House.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas
dude.
to you too.
Merry Christmas, Brandon.
I have that Ghidorah. Actually, it's in my living room, so I can flex that. I guess the 90s Ghidorah.
You know what? You know what they need to do?
What do they need to do?
What do they
They
need to
need
do?
SH Monster Arts need to make a Titanosaurus
Do
with
they?
a tail that can
Hmm.
open and close.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Yes, they do.
And I can wander around the house going.
Well, if you wait a couple years, we might just have that with the next Godzilla
No.
day.
No, we won't.
For the
Never.
Terra Mecha Godzilla anniversary.
No, they're just gonna. Well, maybe, yeah, but you know what they're just gonna do? They're just gonna keep re-releasing different paint schemes.
It'll be Destroyer's anniversary, not Mecha Godzilla's.
Yeah, Terror Mecha Godzilla. No, screw that. Oh well. What else we
Destroyer
got?
sells more
What else
toys.
we got? M. Bryant has said, I love that 13 trolls collectively partied so hard at a troll wedding they all lost track of time and turned to stone. Troll lemonade is strong. Indeed it is.
Yes.
Cinematography and score is just lush. Love the scale, size, and overall threat of this monster. It was built very quickly, and you could see the direct effect it had on the environment. What's a monster movie without a little destruction? My ideal Kaiju Xmas Prezi would be a collection of the ruby, emerald, and diamond weapons from Final Fantasy VII Original in figurine form. If you know what they look like, which she has actually put a picture further down.
All right. Oh yeah.
Which I don't really know how to describe what they look like, but yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I take it they're summons, are they?
I think
that's how much my knowledge is of the game.
From what I can tell, the red one is a boss you fight that if you encounter early on, just completely demolishes you.
Okay.
But I do appreciate these figures look like PlayStation 1 graphics with the blockiness to them. So I appreciate that.
I need to play that game because I'm sure that's got loads of massive monsters in it.
Oh yeah, it's on every system nowadays. Yeah. But yeah.
So what else have we got? Louise and McGarry watched this last night. I thought it was pretty good.
Fair enough.
There you go, pretty good.
Right to the point there. Cool.
Yeah.
Tim Sharp, we thought it was okay. Not the worst film we've seen.
It isn't the worst film that we've talked about on this podcast either.
It's not, no.
No.
What's the worst film we've talked about on this podcast?
I don't know. I haven't been here for that long.
I don't know.
It's a repressed memory now. I know what Alex would say.
It's not Legend. No.
It's definitely not Legend.
Definitely not Legend.
Love that film.
Exactly.
Have you guys covered Space Godzilla yet? I can't remember if you have or not.
No, I don't think we've talked about that.
We haven't actually covered Space Godzilla.
No.
Okay.
I can't even remember the film, to be honest, so it couldn't have been great.
Okay, yeah, that one.
That one, yeah.
They basically find out that you can kill Godzilla by shooting him in the armpit. It's a pretty bad film, Paul.
Okay, I must have blocked that out of my memory.
I mean, to be fair, if you got shot in the armpit, yeah, that'd be very painful, because that's where all your nerves are. So, anyways,
do you want to read out some comments?
Yes, indeed.
I wonder what would happen if you shot a troll in the armpit.
A very pissed off troll.
So yeah, it wouldn't feel it. It's rock.
Would it try and eat me?
Depends on your religion.
Would it go evil?
Oh god. Anyway, so
you almost said yes. You almost said yes.
I didn't though. But we've got some Twitter comments. We've actually got a few.
Twitter's still running. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Indeed, yes. So Sabai Shinrei says, I really liked it.
Is Elon a troll?
Is Elon a troll? Well, I don't know. We should get him as a guest in this podcast, see what happens.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you'll do it. I really liked it. It was tropey and he had some awkward dialogue moments, but as a kaiju film, I thought it worked really well because it worked really well because the kaiju was well designed and was an interesting character of an interesting story. Excited for a sequel. The troll should be Norway's Godzilla. They mentioned Godzilla in the film. They mentioned
did.
Godzilla and King Kong in the film, so
They did.
they're very aware of those films. Yeah.
Can we talk about the dialogue for a second? Did you guys watch this dubbed or in the actual language?
Well, assuming I
Dubbed.
watched this with my family, yeah, dubbed. You know, like I need to watch
Watch it with the true language. It's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
It's
the
not
thing.
often that you get to hear Norse, at least
Yeah.
where I'm at.
To be fair, most dubs are a bit funny. I'll be honest. Yeah, but anyways, James Allen Tondre says there's some shots straight out of the MonsterVerse films that are very obvious. The clenching of the fists at the helicopters is one example, and the way it ends is so abrupt and unceremonious. The last 15 minutes feel narratively weak, and the whole film is shallow but interesting. I wouldn't say it's shallow. I just think it's derivative. That's about it, really. Jamstar Jupiter. That's a fantastic name. Jamstar Jupiter. That sounds like a 2000 AD character. Jamstar Jupiter says, it borrows heavily from the MonsterVerse to a point where I feel like I was watching a parody in some parts. The actors are passable for the genre, but are lacking compared to the more interesting and tragically sympathetic troll creature. Save for the father who, spoilers, gets Cranstoned. Now, I would disagree with this.
Can we talk about that? Who wrote that?
Some
That's
guy
a
called
Jamstar?
Jamstar Jupiter.
Jamstar Jupiter. I like your terminology and your use of the English language. That was a fantastic review. That was really good. That was really good and concise. Was this off of Twitter?
This is off of Twitter, yes.
You used your characters well. I am giving you a shout out.
I refuse to say that the father got Cranston because the father actually pushed the plot along.
Cranston, he totally was. He totally was.
Because his advice helped them out in the end, defeat the troll.
You know what? Bryan Cranston
so did
is just like, you have no idea what's coming. It's a big critter.
Yeah, but that's
right.
about it. He doesn't meet
Godzilla.
He gets
What? He gets swatted aside by a giant creature and dies?
Yeah,
not long after giving a few parting words to his child.
But he's not knowledgeable about the mutants. He only knows that the mutants there.
Does he get swatted aside / knocked or whatever, fall from height?
But he doesn't, it's
suffer
like
an internal
he doesn't
injury,
give parting words to his,
and then impart to his only child.
Oh, he doesn't give parting words to his only child in Godzilla. He's dead. He's like in a. Oh dear!
I win. You're just scraping. You're scraping now. You're trying to find a foothold, and there isn't one. It's like a troll has plucked you up very evilly and just tossed you down his gullet.
Whatever you say, Joe. Leonardo Petrucci says it's a hidden gem. Hi, Leo. How are you today? Yeah.
It's not that hidden.
No.
It's number one on Netflix.
And I've replied with respect, which is the allergy gif. And finally, we have Joe Jones. We go from Jamstar Jupiter to Joe Jones.
You know what? You need to not pick on Joe's. Our names are generic enough as it is.
Nothing's wrong with JJ.
Yep. Started watching last night, but fell asleep.
Paul, this feels like a shout out to you.
I didn't fall asleep.
Paul also paused halfway and had to come back.
But I didn't fall asleep. I was just like, I can't be bothered to stay up to
Paul,
watch
we're
it.
among friends. You can say that you fell asleep. It's okay.
I think it'd be funnier if I fell asleep.
We've found Paul's alternate account on Twitter.
Paul wakes up in the morning, turns on the film. It's morning. The troll dies. What? What's going on?
Oh well. But anyways, yes, that is all the Twitter comments. So yes.
Right. I mean, it seems to be quite
You guys had a lot to
Uh,
say about this troll.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a popular film, and it also seems to be very heavily influenced by the MonsterVerse. Everyone's saying,
For those of you
all
that
in
are
agreement with.
listening, for those of you who are listening, since we had such a good turnout for comments here, I want to hear what all of you think.
Good or evil?
No,
Oh.
what Christoph would have thought of this troll. Would him and Sven have tried to defend this troll as much as Connor? That is the question. Is this troll family or is it the monster?
Oh, dear. It's about as friendly as the troll in Central Park. I'll say it there.
That's a feel-good troll movie. Him and his green thumb. They were just trying to do what they could.
I'm a bad troll. Anyway, so I guess
If nothing else,
nothing else. Yes, that's right. Who wants to start?
I will start, and I will say, if nothing else, because this is what I've been doing recently, which isn't 100% kaiju, but go watch some Power Rangers. Go watch the Green Ranger. I watched the Green with Evil bit. It's like 5 episodes where Tommy's introduced. He's got a
Tommy
spell put
lays
on him.
waste to the other 5 Rangers.
Well, that's it. He kicks a load of ass.
He whoops them. I'm sorry,
he
but
does.
It just shows you that the Green Ranger is just so far above all the other ones.
That's it. He
It pays to be evil, folks.
unstoppable,
like a troll.
and he's got powers. It's like he's on the dark side. Oh, I've got I can fire lightning out my eyes, and my coin will zap you and teleport you. The others don't have that.
The Dragon Zord is literally Mecha Godzilla as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, if nothing else, go check out.
There was actually an episode where the Green Ranger fought the White Ranger.
But they're the same person.
Yeah, they're both Tommy. They were both Tommy. It's just like
there's like a
Power Rangers logic. Okay, we're not going to go
yeah.
into it. That's its whole episode. You can find it on Netflix. Green Ranger fights the White Ranger and wins.
Okay.
The White Ranger was supposed to be an upgrade. What's going on?
No, it's just for new toys.
Enough. He's not cool enough.
And other than that, obviously, happy holidays, everyone. Enjoy yourself. Hope you get some awesome kaiju goodies. Connor, if nothing else.
If nothing else, seeing that Paul brought up Power Rangers, I will bring up Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Go watch that. Yes. Despite its flaws and its really terrible time travel plot, it is still a classic and everyone should watch it.
There's a significant amount of racism.
Do not ruin this,
It's got Dorats.
It's got Dorats.
It does have Dorats. Dorats are the best monsters to come out. Yes,
those horrible man-made creations. Yeah. Why didn't Toho profit off of that and actually make actual full-size
no idea
dolls?
You know what? I will say our interview with Jeremy Souls and X Plus, I'm like, dude, life-size Dorat figure. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Make its head turn.
Everything else we mentioned, I think, has come out now. So it's just
funny that
Dorat that's left.
If only there was someone here who was very good at sculpting and could probably make a life-size.
Yes,
Dorat.
seriously,
I'd like to see that.
What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? But
it's called work, Joe. We all have to work. Go watch Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Merry Christmas for me as well. So, Joe, if nothing else.
So, I feel like I should troll Connor a little bit more.
Go on.
I saw recently through the wonders of the internet this year's Iron Brew Christmas advert. So for those of you who have grown up on the British Isles, you are probably intimately familiar with a cartoon called The Snowman.
Yeah.
So in this Iron Brew advertisement, the snowman picks up yet another child and decides to go flying with them. This child has an Iron Brew, which is, I'm sorry, I mean, like, there's just no other way to put it. It is like Scotland's national carbonated beverage. So this kid has an Iron Brew, but won't share it. So through the course of their flight, they see all of Scotland, Nessie, which is where a monster comes in. But then, like, kid won't share. So what's the snowman do? Drops him. Just straight up drops him.
It's
Doesn't catch him, anything. Takes the brew, drops him.
And when you're done with that, watch the sequel.
But it gets better. Yeah, it gets better. There's a sequel advertisement. The kid gets a biplane or something of the like, chases after this flying snowman to get his iron brew back, gets it. And then who should steal it then? But Kris Kringle himself.
No, exactly.
Okay.
Santa
I really enjoy that advertisement. I mean, like it made me laugh today. But yeah, watch Troll and watch Troll Hunter. Of the two films, I'm still of the opinion that Troll Hunter offers the better creepy, realistic vibe. Troll is kind of like how Hollywood would make a troll film. Troll Hunter is more as I would imagine it playing out in real life. Those words were said on this podcast, folks. I can't take them back. This is recorded for all mankind to listen to for generations to come.
Trolls are real. End of.
Trolls could be real.
Yes.
Don't. But like Dorats, just don't feed them after midnight. Don't get them close to radiation, and don't time travel with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Sound advice.
Doc Brown would have things to say. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, that was a word. Anyhow, you have been listening to Kaiju Curry House, episode 109, and I guess that's it.
As always, folks, keep it Kaiju.
That's what you need to say. Keep it Kaiju.
Yeah.
Take up the reins, man. We're passing this on to you.
I'm a maverick. I can do all.